I've said this time and time again, but consistency is one of the most crucial factors about the success of your music career. And one of the best ways to stay consistently in front of the eyes of your fans and viewers is by posting daily. What's going on? It's Pimp Fried Rice, and welcome to the Music into Millions podcast, where we are taking independent rappers and showing them the tools and resources they need in order to be successful without having to wait on a record label. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of posting daily. And I preach about this all the time to people because it is super crucial. When you're posting daily, there are a couple things to keep in mind. Like the first thing is the reason we post daily is to keep visible in front of our fans. Everybody nowadays has such a short attention span. We're like goldfish. If it's not something flashing or bright or fun in front of our eyes, we're probably forgetting about it within the next 10 to 30 seconds. So one of the reasons that we need to post daily is because if we're not constantly in front of people's eyes, showing them what we're doing, what we're working on, who we are, little insights into our lives, they're going to forget about us. Now, they may not forget about us entirely or forget about us, completely to where they're never going to think about us again, but you want to be at the forefront of these people's minds as often as possible, so that way they're checking in on you, they're checking out your music, and just wanting to be involved with you and with your life. And by posting daily, you give people that little bit of insight into your life so they can feel connected and involved. And one of the best ways and practices that I started actually putting into practice, I found this through Russell Brunson, who I would consider as like one of my biggest mentors when it comes to marketing and like success with my business and everything like that. And it actually is in his new book, Traffic Secrets. It's called the JK5. And the JK5 is basically, I forget what the JK stands for because it's actually the name of the person who came up with it, and that's their initials. I just can't remember their name. I think it's like Jenna something. But the JK5 essentially is you come up with 5 topics that have to do with you or with your brand or with your music, and then you rotate through those 5 topics when you post so that way you don't get boring. So like for my JK5, what I did was music resources and success tools, like that's one topic. The other one is beats and songs I've done. Another one is anime. Another one is like family, my girlfriend, my cats, friends, like that whole aspect. And then another one is skateboarding. And so basically what I do is I take those 5 different seemingly random topics, and because they all involve different parts of my personality, I talk about them in my posts. So whether I'm posting one day about a song that I worked on, with Kriko, or I'm posting a skateboarding video of me, falling, or I'm posting, whatever, or me nailing a trick, it doesn't matter. But what I'm doing is I'm now rotating through those different topics. So instead of me constantly, here's another beat I made, 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 that gets repetitive and it gets boring, and the only people that are going to care about that are the people that are looking for beats or that like to listen to beats. But by me posting those other aspects of my life, like the skateboarding, and anime, and my family, and my girlfriend, and my cats, and just me having, stupid times and, entertaining things that I like, that shows people more about me than just the music that I make and the type of, music I'm constantly creating. It gives them more insight into your life. So use the JK5. I would suggest writing down on a paper what the 5 different topics for your brand are, and then just work your way through them and rotate them one every day. So like Monday, skateboarding, Tuesday, anime, Wednesday, beats, Thursday, family, Friday, whatever, and then just keep going from there. So that way you're constantly giving people another look into your life. And so don't just use this trick on one platform. So don't just like hammer into Instagram, or don't just hammer into TikTok or Twitter or Facebook. For real, you need to be on all the different platforms. You need to be on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Messenger, all these different places where people gather, because the more places you are, the more chances there are for people to see you, and like I said, for you to just be visible in other people's eyes. Because like I said, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind, and the more you're out of mind, the less people are thinking about you and listening to your music. So by posting each day on every platform, one thing you do need to keep in mind though is each platform has its own language. So like I'm not going to post the same thing on Facebook that I would post on Instagram, because Instagram is based around photos and videos and is very visual, and Facebook is based more around like long form posts. Even though Facebook now is moving more towards the direction of videos, there's still a place for long form content, like long, posts and everything like that. Twitter's very short form. Obviously, you only get like 240 characters, so it's very, very minimal. It's like quick thoughts that pop into your mind. But just look into these different social media platforms and see what the languages are on them, so that way when you're posting on them, you're not posting something that's not going to connect with the people that are on that platform. So that's super important too, because if you're posting, long posts on Instagram, that's going to do pretty poorly as opposed to if you're posting a video that says the same exact thing. So it's not necessarily changing the message of the content, it's changing the context of the content. So context is super important, and each platform has its own context. So just be aware of that when you're creating content for the different platforms. And the last thing that I want to talk to you guys before I give you just some real quick tips is adjust. And so if something is working, double down on that. So like if you had a post that did phenomenally and it got 500 comments and it was shared 250 times on people's stories, that is awesome. Do those type of posts again, because that's the type of content that your fans want to see. But say you post like a video of your cat and it gets, like, I don't know, 2 likes and your grandmom says, oh, that's cute. Don't post that again, because it obviously didn't work. That's not the type of content that fans want to see from you, and that's fine. Don't get offended. Don't feel butthurt. That's just actually the world saying, this is what we want to see from you and this is what we don't want to see from you. So by looking at these posts, you can see which does better and which one does not, and then adjust from there. So like I said, double down on what works and throw away what doesn't work. It doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 6 months, 60 minutes, or 60 years. If it doesn't work, get rid of it, because it's pretty much a waste of time and it's just dead weight at that point. So those are the other different tips I wanted to talk about, but before we go, I want to give you guys 3 quick tips that also apply with posting daily. Number 1 is be sure to use hashtags. Hashtags are really big on like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Not so much on like Facebook and LinkedIn, but it still doesn't hurt to include them in posts and everything like that. There's plenty of websites and articles that talk about hashtags. Maybe I'll get more in depth on a later episode of them. Comments, which is the next one, respond to every single comment. Now, there is a little bit of a kind of gray area I talk to people is, should I keep the comments where it's like a spam bot and it's like, check out my graphics, or we should work together? Personally, I delete them because I think it looks better for my comment feed when it's just like actual, people talking and engaging. Some people are like, no, don't delete that, that's engagement, and it still counts as a comment, which is true. So it really just comes down to your personal preference, but make sure you're responding to every comment that you do choose to keep, because that boosts your engagement. And the last and final tip is to remember to use stories, all right? You want to use Instagram stories, Facebook stories. I believe those are the only 2 with stories, but take advantage, because those are just 24-hour little blurps that it doesn't have to be perfect. Like on your feed, a lot of times the stuff that we want to put on there is very prim and proper. We edited it, we made it look good. But stuff on your story could literally just be, you taking your phone, holding it up to your face and just like, yo, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to give you this real quick tip, or I just wanted to say have a great day today. But make sure you take advantage of your stories, because that's quick content, and I honestly, personally go through my stories more than I go through my feed. So if you may not get a lot of feed engagement, try working out your stories and see what works there. But remember to post daily, remember to adjust, remember to respond to comments. Really just start working on your social media, especially nowadays with everything with the quarantine going on and coronavirus. You have all this free time. Be sure to take advantage. Have a great day.